Distribution of legislative powers.
The Constitution provides threefold distribution of legislative powers between union government and state government. Therefore, there are three lists: union list, state list, and the concurrent list. First list is the union list. Union list includes 97 subjects of national importance such as defense, atomic energy, foreign affairs, railways, banking, post and telegraphs. These matters need a uniform policy throughout the country. The union government alone can make laws related to subjects mentioned in the union list. Second is the state list. The state list contains 66 subjects of state and local importance such as police, trade and commerce, agriculture and irrigation. The state legislative alone can make laws related to subjects mentioned in the state list. The third list is concurrent list, which includes subjects of common interest to both the union and state governments. For example, forests, trade unions, marriage, adoption and succession. Both the union as well as the state governments can make laws on the subjects mentioned in the concurrent list. But in case of conflicts with each other, the laws made by the union government are given more importance. There are some subjects do not fall under in any of the three lists or came up after the constitution was made. These are known as residuary list or residuary subjects. The union government has powers to make laws on the residuary subjects, for example, computer hardware and software. A holding together federation does not give equal powers to its constituent units, which means that all states of the Indian Union do not have identical powers. A state like Jammu and Kashmir enjoyed special powers with its own constitution, and many provisions of the Indian constitution were not applicable to this state. On the other hand, there are some very small units of the Indian Union which enjoy very little powers like Chandigarh, Lakshadweep, or the capital city of Delhi. These units are very small in area, and due to this, union territories cannot be merged with existing states. A union territory is a type of administrative division governed directly by the central government. Earlier, there were 7 union territories in India, but now there are 8 union territories in India. Look at the 8 union territories in India with their capital. Largest union territories of India in terms of area. First, Jammu and Kashmir. Area 1,63,040 square kilometer. Popularly known as the Paradise on Earth. Added on 6th August 2019. Jammu and Kashmir is now a union territory with assembly. Winter capital is Jammu, whereas summer capital is Srinagar. Second union territory is Ladakh. Area 59,146 square kilometer. Added on 6th August 2019. There is a joint headquarters in Leh and Kargil. Leh is the capital of Ladakh also. Third largest union territory of India, Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Area 8,249 square kilometer. Capital and largest city, Port Blair. Andaman and Nicobar Islands became a union territory on 1st November 1956. The Andaman and Nicobar Islands collectively was the first union territory of India after India gained independence. Fourth largest union territory of India, Delhi. Capital, New Delhi. Area 1,484 square kilometer. Much like the states of India, Delhi is administered by its own legislature. Fifth union territory is Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu. Area 491 square kilometer. Merged with the Republic of India as a union territory on 11th August
1961. Daman is the capital of both Dadra Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu. Sixth largest union territory of India is Pondicherry. Area 483 square kilometer. Capital and largest city Pondicherry. Seventh largest union territory of India is Chandigarh. Area 114 square kilometer. Became a union territory on 1st November 1966. Chandigarh, also the capital of Punjab and Haryana. 8th union territory of India is Lakshadweep Islands. Area 32 square kilometer. Capital is Kavarati. Became a union territory on 1st November 1956. It is very difficult to make changes in India's power sharing arrangement, as any change has to be approved by a one-third majority in both the houses of parliament. Then it has to be ratified by the legislatures of at least half of the total number of states. The judiciary makes our country more federal. The judiciary plays an important role in the implementation of any constitutional provisions and procedures in both the level, union and state level. If any disputes are found between the different tiers of government, the High Courts and the Supreme Court make a decision. Hence, judiciary acts as the guardian of Indian federalism. The real success of Indian federalism in India can be attributed to the nature of democratic politics in our country. That is a spirit of freedom, secular outlook, respect for diversity and the urge to live together.